Beloved members of the British Columbia Conference, it's my privilege to introduce to you our conference's video for this month. David Haluska will share with us some amazing blessings that we experienced in our ABC last year. I'm sure your heart will be touched.
Early last year, I didn't take the coronavirus very seriously. I'm not sure many people did, at least not in North America. When March came, the rumblings got louder, but our bookmobile was still packed and ready to run. The day it was to leave, I was told the semi-truck had to be canceled. I was quite frustrated. The weeks of work to get the truck ready, the anticipation from our customers who had waited over a year for the runs to start back up, and then having to undo all those preparations. It was discouraging. But it got worse. The hammer fell when Camp Hope Camp Meeting was announced that it would be canceled. The ABC is divided up into 3 business sections. First, the ABC store in Abbotsford, then the bookmobile, and finally the store business at Camp Meeting. Roughly 1/3 of our business comes from each of these segments. Financially, the ABC would have to function on only 1/3 of those profit centers. The question wasn't if we were in financial trouble, it was how bad it would be. Then I got a phone call. It was Ed Lindsay. Ed's a retired manager who spent his life in ABC work. He contacted me to send encouragement and asked how things looked, and I told him what he already suspected. With a canceled bookmobile and no usual camp meeting sales, he knew all too well the forecast was gloomy. He gave me a suggestion. Why don't you run a small van? Make the orders prepaid and just bring the items and drop them in the parking lot. It would not be what the bookmobile was capable of, but it might replace some of those losses. And so it sounded like a good idea. After crunching the numbers and working out the logistics, our bookmobile driver, Johnson, made a delivery schedule and arranged for the rental vehicle. Each location centered around the regular bookmobile stops, but it focused on speedy delivery and departure. Every set of runs was kept to just 2 days. Some stops were only 15 minutes per location. This model heavily relied on customers being willing to adjust their schedules to meet us when and where we dictated, whether in the middle of a workday or in the dark of night. But as Ed had predicted, the runs were met with satisfaction and even delight by our customers. During the year, we made some adjustments, but overall, the Lord really blessed us. We're grateful to the Lord for His mercy. We had wonderful support from our church and school organizations all across the conference. The generosity and flexibility from everyone has been undeserved. There's an old song lyric that goes, "Count your blessings, name them one by one." I was blessed to get the call from Ed. Our driver was sustained over hundreds of hours spent on the roads. We received clarity of thought while we were juggling the thousands of orders that came in. And as we pulled and prepared each item for delivery, God provided the dedicated staff we needed to respond to every inquiry, even though it sometimes took the staff many hours after closing. It was a whirlwind year, but it was one where the Lord was leading and working through it all. And how did it end? The most unexpected blessing of all. The Treasury Department says we ended 2020 in the black, financially solvent. 1 year ago, it seemed an impossibility, but with God, all things are possible.
You see how God works? When this pandemic started, we had no idea how things would turn out. The ABC lost 2/3 of its normal income, the bookmobile and the in-person camp meeting. We are seriously concerned how things would be with the ABC. But God has a better plan. He was there to test our faith. And we prayed and we put the ABC in our lives and every segment of the church in His hands. And He blessed us tremendously last year. I just finished a conversation with David Haluska, our ABC manager, and he told me that we sold more Bibles last year than many years in the past, and more books, especially about the final events on this earth. My dear brother, my dear sister, God wants us to depend on Him more and more every day. Our lives and His work are in His hands. May God bless you richly, and may the year of 2021 be a blessing for you and your family in your church, and everything that we do together to expand God's kingdom in the British Columbia Conference. May God bless you richly.